A lot of you might be applying to a lot of universities in the UK because it is the perfect time to start applying. And you might be wondering how to prepare to come to the UK and have that mindset that I'm going to go to the UK and I need to learn a few things. So what are these things that will prepare you? You've come to the right video. I'm going to tell you 5 important things that is going to prepare you completely to come to the UK. Before I begin, if you still haven't applied to a lot of universities in the UK and need guidance, then you can purchase the $4.99 package, which you will get a refund of once you accept the offer. And you can use my code AAR300 to purchase it, and Uniflick will help you right from starting to applying to the universities to accepting the offer. So don't miss out on this chance and get the package right now. So the first thing that I'm going to start with is the pronunciation and the accent, which is a huge part of the UK. So I was living in India for 22 years of my life before I moved abroad over here in the UK. And I had no idea how to prepare myself in terms of the pronunciations and accents, because that was the bit which I was really terrified about. One thing that has helped me a lot with understanding the pronunciations and accents is watching a lot of British films and TV shows. One of my guilty pleasures is watching Love Island. And by watching that, I actually not only understood a lot of pronunciations and accent, but also understood a lot of phrases. For example, I'm knackered means I'm exhausted, I'm gutted means I'm really like sad and upset. So all of these things I've really learned by just watching and learning. Otherwise, you can also like watch a lot of YouTube videos to understand that. And when you're constantly watching it, I feel like when it's just in the background, you kind of get used to the accent and you start understanding it a lot better. I still have trouble understanding the accent sometimes because obviously some people like say it really fast, some people are like slow, and it's really easy to understand. And obviously, just like how we have different states in India, over here they have different counties, and different counties have different accents. So the accent from London is way different from the accent from North. So all of that really changes, and that you can kind of solve it by watching a lot of TV shows. One of the shows that I will recommend is Friday Night Dinner, because obviously it's British and you'll understand a lot of things and it's funny as well. But you don't have to watch like Love Island and stuff like that. You can find your own content because there's so much content out there, so you can find your own shows. The second thing that I'm going to talk about is giving a realistic view of the UK. So if you think about the UK, you actually think about like tall buildings and clean roads and stuff like that, because that's what you've seen in the movies. The movie people and production basically show all the touristy areas in London, or like nicer areas like in Birmingham or Oxford and Cambridge and stuff like that. And that's what you have like a visualization of. But to get a realistic view of how most of the UK or the dodgy areas of the UK look like, you need to watch Buckingham Murders, because when I was watching the film, obviously it is about like murder and everything, but they gave a completely realistic view of how UK looks like, or most of the dodgy areas in a lot of cities look like, because it is shot in a real location called High Wycombe, and I feel like that will give you the proper realistic view of the UK, because you know you might have these expectations of like having like tall buildings and everything, but all the village areas or all the smaller cities don't have like tall buildings at all. It's only probably in London. So other cities are completely different from what you see on TV. The third thing and the biggest thing is the greetings. Now obviously you've learned like golden words and everything in school, but in India we don't really use it all the time. But in the UK, people use all these golden words all the time, and it is better to use them all the time, because obviously I know that everyone jokes about British people saying sorry about everything, but these things will make you like a better person, because you're saying sorry to someone, you're saying please to someone, it just makes you look like you're from a nice family and you're not like a rude person or anything. It's nice to ask people by saying please, because obviously they're doing something for you. And so for example, you're in a cafe, right? And you are about to order, but you're cutting someone off, and they ask you that, I was over here, and then you can just say, oh, sorry, and then just move and go behind them or stand in the queue. And if when you're ordering, little things like, can I have a latte please? It's just those simple things like, adding please and everything, and once they give it to you, you can just say thank you. So all these little greetings are really important when you're living in the UK, because you have to kind of adopt to these things, because you're changing your whole life by moving abroad. And you're not changing yourself, but you're just making yourself a better person. Don't get me wrong over here, but yeah, these are the little things. And obviously other greetings, like if you're walking into a room, if it's your workplace, if it's college or something like that, you can just say morning, or you're right, or you okay. And if they ask you that, you can just say, yeah, you. Just those little things. If you're not a really talkative person, you can obviously have like a longer conversations, but other than that, if you're not that person, then you can just say, yeah, you. And if someone's meeting you on a Friday, and if they say that have a good rest of the weekend, then you can just say, oh, you too. It's just those little things that you have to adopt, and that will make you feel nice as well, because you're being nice to other people. The fourth thing that I'm going to talk about is the etiquettes. Now, this is again really important, because when you're eating outside with someone, you can just kind of adapt these little things like not opening your mouth while chewing. It's not only in the UK, but obviously you can follow this in India as well, because these are like little manners that we need to follow, especially when we are outside. And sometimes when you're going outside with a lot of colleagues or a group of people basically from UK, I was really conscious when I was like eating, but just to get it right, because I didn't want to like disrespect anyone and everything, but obviously that was my overthinking. And little things like, we're used to having food with our hands. So if someone's uncomfortable, if you can see someone that's like really not comfortable of me having food with like my hands, then you can just ask if everyone's okay if I eat my food with my hands, because obviously that's the way you've brought up, and that's something you can't really change. But the least you can ask is just if everyone's okay and if everyone's comfortable. And obviously it can get messy as well when you're eating. So the least you can do is just put a tissue on your lap or a tissue over here, just so that your clothes don't get messy. But other than that, I feel like you're good. And the other thing in etiquettes is how you smell, because that's really important. I've seen a lot of Indian people over here that for example, they have like a studio, which basically has like a bed and a kitchen and everything in together, like in one room. They use the same clothes to cook, and then they wear those same pair of clothes outside as well. So they're basically smelling of masalas and spices and food basically. And if they don't wash their clothes, especially things like jackets and everything like that, it carries a really bad smell, and it's like really at some point it's unbearable. So you just have to make sure that you smell nice. The least you can do is just wear other clothes like home clothes when you're cooking, and then change into the pair of clothes that you will wear outside. And if you're coming from outside, then make sure that you just wash your hands, change your clothes, and then cook for yourself, because I feel like those little things are very hygienic. And it's just not really in the UK as well, but outside as well. But I feel like in the UK you carry like a lot of smell around, so it's just better for you to basically just be clean and hygienic. And the fifth thing is, before you come here, all you can do is a little research, because obviously you're coming into a completely new country. You probably don't know anyone over here, and you have to shop for a lot of things like your bed sets and duvets and pillows and pillow covers and all of those things. And how can you know what to shop from where? So I feel like this is really important. But for example, if you're shopping for like home things, then shops like B&M, Primark, these stores have a lot of things. Asda, George, which is basically again for home stuff and everything. So for groceries, you can go to like Sainsbury's, Tesco, Lidl, Asda, groceries, and then also Aldi. So all of these have basically a lot of variants, and I've seen a lot of people make this mistake that they go and they buy something, and then after the return date is done, basically they just realize that they're getting that same thing at a very cheap price at a different store. So all you can do is just go on like all these websites from the stores and then compare the prices. Go on all the websites of the stores and basically just search Duvet and see what price you're getting at and what value you're getting at basically for the money you're gonna spend. I did this all comparisons while coming to the UK because I was like, I don't know anything about the UK and I'm going in this country and I just need to have some kind of knowledge, and that's what I did. And I feel like I made the best decisions of shopping at these places because I had done all of these basically study, and I gave a lot of people these recommendations and they were like, yeah, we probably we didn't know that this existed, and because of you I got this idea. So I've already made a video on this. If you want to know what to shop from where, then you can just go and click over here, because I think it will just make your life a bit easier. But other than that, obviously you can just watch the video, but do your own research because that really matters, because obviously there's personal choice and everything. So yeah, these are all the 5 things that will prepare you to come to the UK. And obviously these are very basic things that you can just take care about, but other things you can just come and learn over here as in how you're living, because obviously you have to have a personal experience as well. So I really hope that this video really helped you, and yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give this video a huge like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.